guys, welcome back. Okay, so listen, I want to start this video out first of all by saying thank you to all of my viewers, my supporters, my followers, you know, those that are subscribed to me, my day ones from back in the day, because I have been on YouTube. It'll be 8 years this year. 8 years. Very long time, right? But I just want to start this video by saying thank you. I love you guys. I appreciate you, all the support and love that you have given to me. I mean, it's just amazing. I love reading the comments, all of that stuff. And I want to thank me. Okay, I want to thank me for loving and supporting myself and believing in myself. But I just want to say we was all wrong, okay? We was all wrong. For all of you who cheered me on and supported me and told me, KK, you can do it. You can do this, no-buy. Girl, we got you. We can do this together. No, we was wrong. We was wrong. Y'all was wrong. I was wrong. We was all wrong. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I'm not about to torture myself. I'm just not. I was wrong. So with that being said, let's get into this ColourPop collection, okay? So today's look is brought to you by the ColourPop Twilight New Moon palette, okay? When I saw this palette, I fell in love with this color story immediately. I was like, yo, I love the Twilight movies just as it is. I love the Twilight movies. You know, it's just, I just love them, you know. And so the first palette with, you know, Edward and Bella and the blue tones and just the real cool gray and all that stuff vibe, loved it. Knew I wanted that. But when I saw this one, baby, I was like, oh wow, the warmth, and I'm not even a red eyeshadow wearer. Y'all know I don't be going in with the reds. I don't be, especially like a red lip. No, you know, like it has to be a reason for the red lip. But this palette just sucked me in immediately. I was like, oh honey, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, I got to have it. So I'll go ahead and put some swatches over here for you guys to see of this palette because it's just beautiful. I love the color story. I love the golds, the yellows, the red, the burgundy tones, the fact that there's a black in here, this beautiful bright shimmer that shifts like gold. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's just, I love the whole vibe of this palette. Okay, so it wasn't no question. When I saw it, I knew I was getting the palette. Wasn't sure if I was going to grab the whole collection, but I did and did because now when I make choices regarding whether or not I'm gonna buy a collection, it's like, how many of those items will I actually use? And there's a lot of red lip in here, right? But I must say, I was pleasantly surprised with the liner and the tone of this red lip. I feel like it goes rather nicely with my skin tone. I feel like it works, right? So yeah, let me just show you guys what else is a part of this collection and we'll just do some quick swatches and whatnot. So it does come with two Super Shock shadows. Very, very pretty, unique color Super Shock shadows. And I do want to swatch these for you. So let me put my glasses on, okay? So this first one is called We Won't Bite, right? And this is what it looks like. Gorgeous swirl, beautiful in there. And as you can see, I haven't even swatched it. I'm swatching it for you guys for the first time right now because I didn't use this, you know, as part of my look today. But you can see, you see that? Beautiful. That is an absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of like an antique type gold, you know, but it's kind of like a gold with that green vibe to it, you know, so really, really pretty. And this other one is called the Volturi. So this one has like a really pretty like red and blue vibe in there. And I'm gonna use my other finger here to swatch it. Oh, and when you mix it together, it really gets kind of deep and dark and just like really vampire-y, you know. And I love a good, just kind of smoky, rich vibe. So this definitely gives like the feeling of vampire, the blood sucking, all of that, you know. And I could definitely see this looking gorgeous on the lid. Beautiful crease shade because it's not super duper shiny, right? So yeah, I definitely see that being beautiful. Even as like a one and done, you can kind of blend it out. Really, really pretty. So next in the collection, they did come out with these multi-chrome shadow sticks, which is really, really cool. Packaging looks really, really nice. I like that. With this kind of stuff, I always debate, do I want to keep the packaging or not? And I don't know. With these, I might. So let's swatch the first one here, which is called Vampire Girl. So I want to take a look at these because, you know, like I said, I haven't swatched these items yet. I'm swatching them with you guys for the first time. This is what the shadow stick looks like. So you open it up. Oh, that's pretty. I want to be careful because I don't want to break it. But this is what this one looks like. And I'm just going to swatch this right next to that Super Shock shadow. Yeah, and so it's like you can see that shift. You see that shift in the stick. Really, really pretty. It's kind of like the same vibe as the Super Shock shadows, but you can definitely see that shift in there. So that's the first one. This next one here is called Wolf Girl. Okay, now I definitely, you know, am a fan of Jacob's for sure. I like Jacob, but I always saw Bella as a vampire girl, right? I always saw her as a vampire girl. I knew the minute that, and these look very similar just looking at the stick, so I'm curious to see the difference in the swatch. Okay, so that's the next one. So, ooh, look how shiny that is. That is crazy. I don't know if you can see that shift as much. That's more of like the orangey gold to the green. I mean, more of like the gold to the green. It doesn't have as much red as the first one. Still really, really pretty. Slightly different. I don't know if you need both of them, right? But yeah, even though I really like Jacob, I always saw her as a vampire girl. So this one is called, oh, It's Always Been Him. Ooh, that's a tough one, ain't it? That's a tough one. Okay. It's Always Been Him. Ooh, that's a tough one right there. I know Jacob just, his stomach was in his heart was in his stomach. Okay. Anyway, so that's the last one there. This gorgeous, beautiful. Ooh, that's pretty. That golden green. Oh, and you can truly see that shift in there, honey. Oh, it's beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. So those are the shadow sticks. And I don't know, even at this point, you know, because I don't really rush to do reviews. Sorry about that, but I don't even know if this stuff is still available at this point, but I did want to create another eye look because I'm doing, you know, my little kind of Valentine-esque looks, and someone actually requested like a smoky or grungy type Valentine look, and so that's why I wanted to do this. Okay, now another item was this Soul Body Glow Oil, which is not something that, you know, was like top priority for me to get in this collection, but it is something that I definitely, you know, would use like during the summertime when I go on vacations or, you know, at the beach or whatever the case may be. So that's what this looks like. And I don't know if you guys will even be able to see, but let me just, you know, I don't know how much of a difference it'll make with my tattoos and stuff, but, you know, let's just take a look. Yeah, it's very, very subtle. If anything, it's very subtle. Maybe in the sunlight, you know, you might see the little sparkles and stuff, but honestly, chat, I don't see nothing. I really don't. I don't see anything. So I'm sure this is like extremely subtle. Maybe you guys might see it, you know, in the light, but honey, that was something that was just like a bonus with me grabbing this collection because it wasn't a priority for me. So lastly, we have the lip products. There's 2 lip kits that came with it. As you can see, this one is called Bella. Where the hell have you been, Loca? Okay. Stupid name to me. I don't like that name. And this one is called You Can't Trust Vampires. So they both have a lip liner and a lipstick. So I'll swatch both of those for you as well. So let's go ahead and start with this first one here. The You Can't Trust Vampires. They do come with a lip liner and a lipstick, and this is what the packaging looks like. Regular ColourPop lip liner packaging, and then this is the lipstick. Cute new moon packaging. So yeah, like I said, I was pleasantly surprised because and I'm going to swatch these up here. I was pleasantly surprised because of the fact that I am not a red lipstick girly, but these just work really well for me. So this is the liner, this is the lipstick. So you can see that's what I have on my lips today. Very, very pretty, and I actually really, really like it. And so this one, the Jacob one, so same thing, liner, lipstick. So let me swatch these for you. This is one that I would reach for more on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? Like on a regular everyday basis. So I really like this one as well. And so this is this one. So that's the Jacob one. That's the vampire one. So very, very pretty. Both of them wearable in my opinion, women of color friendly, and I really like them. So that's those lipsticks. And then there's one last product, one last lipstick here. And this one is called Runs with Vampires. So this one is a little bit more daring, a little more out there. You know, it kind of has like a really like metallic type vibe to it. So I'm not really sure when or if I would ever wear this, but it is very pretty. And it's kind of like a gloss, you know, so very, very pretty gloss. So that's that gloss that you see there on the side. Really, really pretty, honestly. It's not as intimidating as it might seem, but I feel like it's a little more out there than I would want a red lip for myself to be, right? So anyways, that is all of the products in this ColourPop New Moon collection. If you would like to see how I created this full face of makeup, only using the palette, but using a lot of other products, you know, in my collection, then stay tuned because it's coming up next. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and get this face together. So to start out, I'm going to prep my lids using my Morphe eyelid primer as usual. I'm going to take a fluffy brush and just kind of blend that out all over my lids. For the first shade, we're going into You're Sorta Beautiful from this palette. And this shade is not one that's super bold on my lid. It's really close to my skin color. But as you can see, it does show up. But I'm really using this as just like a base for the rest of the shadows that I'm going to lay down. Very, very smooth, nice and easily blendable shade. So next I want to go in with a crease shade, and I decided to use this kind of beautiful burgundy shade, Paper Cut. It's kind of like a brown burgundy type shade, and as you can see, I'm really focusing that in my crease and just kind of deepening that up and using that first shade as a nice, you know, kind of base shade to blend it into. Now to deepen this look up, I'm going into the black, which is called Soul Reader, and focusing that a lot in the inner and outer corners because I knew I wanted to do a halo eye today. So I'm just really, really deepening up that inner and outer corner and making sure it's blended nicely into those first two shades, especially that crease shade. Now before I go in with my shimmer, I'm applying some of my e.l.f. glitter primer, and I'm going into the shade Bloodsuckers, that gorgeous red, and just tapping that on top of that glitter primer just to make sure it adheres to my lid very nicely. As you can see, this shadow is extremely pigmented, beautiful bold red shade. If you like red shadow, I think you'll really love this shade because it's very pigmented and easy to use. Now it's a little bit too bold for me, so I decided to go on top of it with the shade Adrenaline. And this is actually like a glitter shadow, but it's really kind of like a mix between like a glitter and a shimmer shadow. Very minimal fallout when you use the primer. Applies beautifully, easily, and it was just absolutely gorgeous on top of that red, as you can see there, because the glitter has like different aspects of gold and red and orange in there. Very pretty. So I decided I needed to use some liquid liner with this look. Haven't been using a lot of black liquid liner for a lot of my looks. I just kind of wear them with no liner, but this one I felt like it was so bold it needed a black liquid liner. So that's all I'm doing here. And I went in with some of my, lash extensions before I moved on to my face. Now this is my first time trying out this NYX The Face Glue Gripping Primer, so I wasn't too sure how much to use, but I feel like I used just the right amount, to be honest with you. It spread out all over my face with those 2 pumps that you saw me do. And I really just took my time, just kind of blending it into my skin because I wasn't sure exactly how tacky it would be. Just kind of getting used to it and comfortable with it as a first time use. And it really wasn't too sticky. I actually really liked it a lot. So for my eyes, I'm going in with this Win Beauty concealer, just trying to take care of those dark circles, hyperpigmentation like I normally do, and just kind of spot concealing all over my face before I go in with the foundation. And I'm just using I believe this is one of my BK Beauty Hot and Flashy brushes to blend out that concealer. For foundation, I'm trying out this MAC Studio Fix for the first time. You might be surprised, I've never used a MAC foundation before. I'm not a MAC foundation girly, but I felt like it was time. And this is a warm shade, so I'm just like, is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? But using it with a sponge, and not really using a brush to have such a heavy coverage, I felt like this shade worked for me. Might not be my perfect match, but that's kind of why I steer clear of MAC, as I really feel like a lot of things I've tried from them complexion wise just didn't work out for me. But I actually really like this foundation. It worked really nicely. With it being a matte foundation, honey, it was definitely matte. It did not move. So I'm going in with my OG favorite concealer, Juvia's Place, in the shade 11. If you're an OG, you already know I love this concealer as a brightener. I didn't want to do too much, so as you can see, I'm applying it very sparingly. Blending that out with a brush as well, just to kind of brighten up those areas of my face. Since this eye look is so bold, I really wanted to add those different dimensions back into my face. The highlighted areas, as you'll see in a minute, I'm going in to bronze up a lot. So yeah, I'm using this Black Radiance stick. This is actually a foundation stick. As you can see, I had no idea there was a brush on there as well, but I chose a darker shade just to try it out as a bronzer. I would say it worked out perfectly fine, but since I just used that LYS bronzing stick, I didn't like it nearly as much as I like the LYS. I love that LYS bronzing stick. This one, in its defense, it's not a bronzer, it's actually a foundation stick, so it didn't blend out as nicely as the LYS bronzing stick, but it works perfectly fine. For an affordable option of bronzer, it worked just fine. When I used the sponge, as you can see, I kind of went back and forth applying it with the brush and then blending it out with the sponge, and that worked just fine. It worked perfectly fine, and I really thought that it looked nice as a bronzer. But like I said, if I had to choose, I would definitely pull my LYS stick before I pulled this one again. But it looks nice, it really does, once it's blended out. So I'm trying out one of these new Patrick Ta blush shades. This one is called She Left Me on Red, and honey, you can see this blush is super bright. So I'm going in first with the cream side of the blush, and I'm just tapping that on, you know, and using actually a firmer foundation brush just so I can have more control and stipple that on my cheeks. And I know, you know, it's been said that, oh, it's not that pigmented. Child, it's pigmented enough for me. It is pigmented enough. Okay, so I'm just applying that on my cheeks before I go in with, you know, some highlighter and some powder. So the highlighter that I'm using today is Grand Glow. This is the liquid that I chose to use for today. And I just decided to put it on my cheeks directly. Typically I put it on my hand before I'd apply it to my face, but I was being lazy, so I just applied it directly to my cheeks, and as you can see, it blended out perfectly fine, no issues. And I really like this liquid highlighter. I'm not sure if it's still available because I'm not that familiar with this brand, but I really like having it in my collection. So for powder, I'm going in with my Huda Beauty Ube birthday cake. I'm like stuck on this stuff, you guys. I haven't been able to put it down since I first tried it. It still amazes me how beautiful it looks on my skin tone, how nicely it sets my highlighted areas, and it's just a real joy to use, you know. Whenever I use it, I really like the outcome. Now to set the rest of my face, I am using my Pat McGrath loose setting powder. This is a really nice powder, although I don't know why I chose another loose powder to try, because I don't prefer loose powders for setting my face. I really prefer a pressed powder just because it's a lot easier, neater, cleaner, not as messy. But I really like this Pat McGrath powder, so I'm going to use it. Now to set my bronzer, I'm going in with my Giorgio Armani. This is the Luminous Silk Bronzing Powder in the shade 120. And I'm just using that to set that bronzer that I applied earlier. I love this bronzer. It's like the more I use it, I love it. I wasn't sure at first if it was the right shade for me, but it's perfect for me. I love it. It looks really good. It's easy to use and it blends out like a dream. Okay, so I really like this bronzer. Now for extra highlight, which I really didn't need, I'm going in with my House Labs. This is in the shade Raw Amber. I really didn't need any extra highlighter because honestly you can see that liquid highlighter poking through my foundation, but I just wanted to use it because I pulled it, and so it's really nice. It is not overpowering at all. It doesn't look super glittery or have like a super glare to it. It really gives your face a nice soft glow. As you can see, I went in, topped it off with some of that powder for that blush, and it is crazy pigmented. Now finishing up these eyes, I'm just going in with a black gel liner from AOA Studios, and I'm also going back into the palette using that shade Paper Cut to kind of smudge that eyeliner out, just to give it that extra grungy, smoky look on my lower lash line. And I'm going in to the shade Mood Control for my inner corner pop. As you can see, I did spray my brush before I applied it, and I'm just making sure that it's blended nicely into those darker shades on my lower lash line as well as in my inner corner. And this color is so pretty. It's so pretty. You can see that like hint of gold in there. So for mascara, I'm still using my L'Oreal Panorama mascara. I like this mascara. I do. I like the applicator. It's very easy to use. I like the formula. I feel like it really fills in my lower lashes very nicely. Now let's get these lips together. I'm going into the kit, which is the You Can't Trust Vampires kit. So this is the lip liner and this is the lipstick, you guys. It's really intimidating when you look at it, but mixed with that lip liner, it works out perfectly. I really like this lip liner. It goes on smooth, easy application, very comfortable to wear, and honestly, it lasted me like all through my lunch. You know, it lasted for hours with me talking and just eating, drinking. So yeah, it's a very nice lip liner. And this lipstick, very nice soft matte, very pretty, very comfortable. I really enjoyed it. So I figured the best setting spray for me today will be the One Size, because I do have an all matte look, except for my eyes, of course. But this is the look, you guys, the final look with this Twilight New Moon palette and red lip. Let me know what you think. I love how it came out. I think it looks very sultry and seductive for Valentine's Day. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Toodles!